All righty. Give me a second while I do a little housekeeping here. Let's see. We're going to take off that comment. Going to jump over here, take that off. Yeah, I got to click it twice to take it. No, it's just slow. There we go. All right. We are a couple minutes late today because the Windows PC that I use to run the show through today decided that touchscreen was not going to work. And I used the touchscreen to bring up the comments. So, less than an hour before show, I restored the PC. And if you've ever restored a PC, you know it's literally like you have no idea what's going to happen. So, um, we made it pretty close, pretty close. But also part of the restoring meant that the web browsing page that I used to go into Restream was not there, and the login was not there. And then, of course, trying to log in, password didn't work, and it was just one thing after another. And the touchscreen still doesn't work. So I'm using a mouse today. So if you see my hand just literally sit here the whole time, it's because I'm using that to do the comments. So thank you all for being here. Let's do a quick let's see. We have the Bird Feeder Network live stream in Rotterdam. That's in the UK. East Coast Camping says hello. The Bird Feeder Network live stream says hello. Hello to you as well. Monty Weaver says, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, it is afternoon. I am based in Texas. Ray B says, hello from Muncie, Indiana. Muncie. Oh, I said it right. Cool. That is one long intro. Do you have to take a bath first? I do a 15-minute pre-show just because I get people tuning in early, and I also like to go and check it and comment on it in different places. It has saved me in the past. The 15-minute pre-show has saved me in that I did a commercial gig, and the client, large company, multi-million dollar company, had their marketing team. They would not give me access to the Facebook, so they had their marketing team set up the thing, and they gave me the RTMP codes. And I'm pushing, and I'm not seeing it, and I'm double checking, and I'm streaming. I was streaming from vMix, and vMix is giving me the thumbs up. All's good in the stream, and it's going there. And I'm like, I'm not seeing it. And I talk to this person, he talks to that person, and everything. Minutes are ticking away. And finally, we log into the Facebook account, and there it is on the stream page. My feed is coming in, and it's sitting there. And it turns out the marketing person that they told to create the event did not put in a description. And in parentheses, next to description in red, it says required. So because they did not put in a description, Facebook was not going to allow the stream to go through. So put in a description, watch the live feed, hit enter, hit go stream, and we still had 3 minutes to go. That's why I do a 50-minute pre-show. So that's why I do that. Again, this is a user guided show. We are going to literally try to do 15 cameras in a YoloBox, and I need your help to do it. I am going to have call-ins. Because 5 inputs on the YoloBox are remote guests. So I have turned on the remote guest feature on the YoloBox Ultra, and I will be putting up a little QR code in a little bit to have you join me in this show. I won't be able to talk to you because I'm not hooked up to talk into this thing, but I'm going to have your pictures on here, and you will be part of the show. That'll be really cool, I think. It's a pre-bug intro. It is a pre-bug intro. It is a bug figuring out intro. That's what that is. So I've defaulted to 15 minutes. I know some people do 5 minutes, and some people don't do any. They just hit the go live. And for me, live shows, usually there's something if something's going to go wrong, it will. And I find me personally, I love to have just that little bit of extra time to figure out what the problem might be before I go live. That's just me. But anyone, let me go through here. I love to hear what everybody's watching from. We've got the UK and Muncie, Indiana. So, hey, if you haven't already chimed in and tell me where you're watching from, I'd love to hear where that is. And also, what streaming questions do you have? This is our topic for today, 15 cameras in a YoloBox Pro, but so you drive the show. The whole point of a live show is that you are here and you can ask a question in the comments on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, and they will come to me through Restream, and I will be able to put them up. So we have here, let me take that out. I actually did have one question already come in. East Coast Camping says, are the overlays lower thirds, can you do all that in monitor mode and have that info recorded on the SD with your program, or is that only live stream thing? The overlays, let me do this. When I do this, I am in monitor mode on the YoloBox that I am producing the show on because I'm using Restream to do the actual streaming. So I'm actually coming out, program out, and then I'm being captured into Restream. So Restream is doing all of the overlays for comments. So that overlay and this overlay, you know, these are all happening in monitor mode. Monitor mode, you can do everything you can do in streaming mode except live comments. So like these live comments that I'm putting up here, you wouldn't get live comments if you're in monitor mode because you're not streaming. You also can't do remote guests, that naturally, because you're not connected to the internet. It doesn't think you're connected to the internet. You might actually still be connected, but when you tell it to do monitor mode, you're basically turning off all the streaming aspects of it. But built-in titles, probably scoreboards, actually let me scroll, yeah, scoreboards are still up, auto switch is still up, but the things that aren't still up are the streaming destinations, remote guests, and comments. So those are the only three things that get turned off when you go into monitor mode. You can still record, you can't stream. You can still record and you still do get your titles, graphics, audio mixer, scoreboard. You know, so if you're doing a sports game, a soccer game, you can still do your sports scoreboard live as part of the recording. So like I says, we are open to all kinds of streaming questions. They don't have to be YoloBox related. They don't have to be Restream related or anything like that. Let's come down here. Oh, this is cool. Hugs from Brazil. Hello to see you. We got London in the UK. Hello. And we've got Alberta, Canada, eh? Sorry, that's American. That's what we do. Thank you all for being here. I am looking forward to giving this a shot. So let me go to take this title off. And again, user driven. You drive the show. You have a comment, throw it in there. If my audio is not coming through because I did a bad switch, let me know because I'm reading your comments. You are part of the show, and more today than ever before. Even if you are in Belgium, you can be part of the show today. We've got a good audience, and I am going to go to my side-by-side. Here we are. I am not streaming to Instagram today, so I'm not worried about a vertical format. And oh wow, Queensland, Australia. Thank you for being there. This is going to be a show. Chimes in again. I plan to use my in remote locations with little to no internet in the wild, and that's awesome. I can have those features with me. Absolutely. Jersey. Where in Jersey? Jersey's pretty big. You're down the shore. You know, you by Camden. You up near the Bronx. You know, Jersey's pretty big. And I can say those things because I used to live in Philly, so I know those things. Hello from Georgia. Hello to Europe. We are definitely getting around the world, and that's the cool thing with live streaming. I'm going to replace that with my overhead, And this is the subject for today's show. This is the Ultra. I have my little feet, and if you go back and you can watch my cages, the cage match for the YoloBox Ultra, these are the little kickstands for the cell phones that are super cheap. And that's what I'm using today, just to give me a little bit of a tilt in here. And it's working out good. Is it possible to use PTZ cameras on the YoloBox? And how to control these? The easiest way. You can use anything that's got an HDMI out. I do have a PTZ camera right over there. Ozbot is going to be one of today's guest appearances, and that is going to come over through NDI. However, the YoloBox does not yet, maybe someday in the future, have the ability to control an NDI PTZ camera from the YoloBox itself. That is why, if we go back to my overhead, I have this tablet, and I did a show. Scroll back through the shows. There is a show specifically about connecting OBSBot cameras via NDI to the YoloBox, and I talk about my tablet and what I use the tablet for. This is, and I will put it in a link. Oh, I hope it's not dead. This is an Amazon Fire 8 HD. And I think I got this for the lofty price of $60, $59 or something like that on special. And I use it. It is literally dedicated solely to streaming. So I don't read books on it. I don't take content. Apparently it's taking a long time to boot up. And yeah. I got the version with ads. So it's cheaper still. And eventually, when it finishes booting up, you will see, I have comms on here. I have OBSBot. So I click on my OBSBot app, and the OBSBot is going to look around, and it should see, there it is. And we're going to say connect the camera. And then for whatever reason, they go vertical to connect and then horizontal to actually control. I don't understand that, but that's OBSBot. And this way, there's the camera over there. Actually, it's way over there. But from here, I can control the camera. Come on, go. There you go. Go. Actually, you know what? I'll just zoom in. Where's my zoom? Where is my zoom? There it is. There's zoom control. There's a zoom out. And the way this works is this is what you're actually going to get, but this is the whole frame. So I can move. It's not going to let me, is it? If I turn that off, and if I just go into crop mode, I can just move that frame around. There you go. And that's going to be the frame of my shot when I bring the shot in via NDI. So that is the easiest way to have this. Or actually, if you have the OBSBot, the real easiest way is with the remote. They have this cool little remote that looks like it attaches to something else. I love to find out what this thing is actually supposed to be attached to, like a gaming system or something. And but this is the easiest way to switch between 3 different cameras with 3 different presets. And you can turn on tracking, you can move the camera around. So it says camera 1 is up, and with this remote I should be able to, nope, not gonna work. Nope. Oh wait, would help if I turned it on. It's confusing because it's lit, it's on, it's communicating with the device that is on, but it's off. I covered this in the OBSBot thing. So there I can tilt it down, I can tilt it up, and things like that. It has a zoom control, but remember, it's not an optical zoom on the OBSBot. I do have a bird dog camera there, but we're not going to use that today. With the OBSBot connected via NDI to the Ultra, if you have 3 of them, you can control them with the OBSBot remote, right? While connected to the Yolo. Absolutely. And go to my OBSBot video. I talk about this thing. This is actually the best way right now because the OBSBot app is clunky. There's no multi-camera version of the app. So if you want to go between camera 2 and camera 1, you literally have to like exit camera one. You know, it's like this. You have to exit camera one, go back to home, done. It'll take you here. Then you switch to a different camera. Then you connect to the camera. You have to wait. Okay, I'm in the camera. Then you have to rotate the tablet, and then you can go to a different preset. That's just forever in live terms. Whereas if I'm here, I literally say, I'm on camera one. Okay, camera two, preset two. Camera one, preset one. That's how fast you switch cameras on the remote. So the remote is, it's like it's the killer feature for the OBSBot. If you got more than one OBSBot and you're going to do presets, the remote is a must-have. This is handy if you only have one and you can set your 3 presets. And if you want to have 3 of these like stacked across your table so you can see camera 1, camera 2, and camera 3 and have your presets right there, that's great. But this just works. And switching between the cameras is super fast. But if you want to have 3 people, one person dedicated to each camera, you could do that with tablets. All right, we got some good questions coming in. Let me jump over the questions. What is the most underrated piece of kit you have that you feel every streamer should have? Most underrated piece of kit. Actually, I'll throw a couple out there. This tablet, it's an Android tablet, but it's useful in so many ways. Android lets me sniff the Wi-Fi and get IP addresses. So when dealing with anything on the network, if I want to find the IP address, Android tablet. If I want to control an OBSBot, if I want to control, do NDI tests, if I want to use it as a camera, it's just this handy little thing to have around, and for $60, and they have them in different colors, so you can dedicate them to different tasks. And if you get the kids version, they actually come with a warranty. So if you drop it, crack the screen, you send it back and get another one for free. I mean, really, it's hard to beat. I will also give a shout out to this camera. This is the original Sony FX1 and little podcaster camera. And the reason I love it is because I can do this. And it gives you a close-up of the camera. And I can pull it away, and it's just super sharp. It sits there. It does its job every single day, every single week. And it's been doing it for over a year with 0 issues. And if you read my column on streaming media, 0 issues is a big deal. It's bulletproof. It just does the job. And it's when you said underrated piece, you don't really celebrate things that just do their job. But when everything else has issues, when you're dealing with a Windows computer that was working last week and then this week it decided that the touchscreen's not going to work, the underrated piece of gear that just does the job week after week without issue is the underrated piece of gear. So that's a really good question. I thank you for that. And for those who have joined us late, I want to say welcome to everyone. I want to ask, if you haven't already told me, where's everyone watching from today? This is a worldwide show. We've got people from Australia to Canada to Georgia to haven't had anybody from Africa. We usually have a couple Africa chime in here, but nobody from Africa today. And what streaming questions do you have? Because you are live, I'm live, we're here at the same time, we're in the same room. So that's the benefit of tuning into a live show, is that you can contribute. I can see what you asked and I can try and answer it. And then later, I'm actually going to throw up a QR code, and if you want to join the show, you'll have your picture on the show. We're going to try to put 15 cameras connected to a YoloBox Ultra. I will say now that I think it's designed so that you can have 4 HDMI and maybe a USB, or you can have an HDMI and remote guests, or you can connect a couple NDIs. But I don't think it's really designed because, remember, it's an Android tablet. It's not a, i9 desktop computer with 300 watts of power coursing through it and an NVIDIA GPU. No, it's not any of that. So I don't think it will be able to do 4 wired HDMIs and 3 wired USB cameras and 5 remote guests and 3 NDI sources all at the same time, reliably, full frame, And I will also specify that I am doing 1080p 30. I'm not doing 60 because I'm not doing sports. I'm just talking. And I'm not doing 4K because I don't think 4K streaming, people watching it, like if you were watching me in 4K, it would be the same exact information as if it is 1080. There's no benefit to 4K for the vast majority of streamed content. So I'm not going to go there. I'm not doing 720p. That would be easier. That would be less bits. But I'm actually going to do 1080p 30. That's going to be the hurdle for today. Scroll down, see who else has joined. There we go. South Africa. Good to see you there, Matt. Matt. T-E-E, right? My eyes are not the best, and it's a little further away. What SIM cards are suitable in UK for the YoloBox original? You have to make sure you have the correct original because the original, the mini, and the Pro they were regional. So you have to make sure that you have based on serial number. If you Google YOLO Live website for SIM card, you will find a link to where it tells you what serial numbers or what letter designators were designed for EU, what were for US, what for other areas of the world. The Ultra is a worldwide unit, doesn't have that. An underrated bit of kit for me is the Atomos Ninja Cast. It's rock solid, 0 issues. Again, rock solid, bulletproof, wins the day. So that is also great. OBSBot works with most brands of cameras, PTZ. The OBSBot is a camera. So I don't understand the question. And that covers all the comments so far. Oh, Northwest Ohio. Probably still getting a little bit of snow up there. And Bill Benson says, hey. You left out 8 cameras, 2 times cropped inputs of each of the 4 inputs. I'm not going to do that. That's a whole separate cropping thing. It's not an actual physical input. I'm looking at physical inputs today. So yes, you are correct. The YOLO boxes have the ability to do virtual inputs by taking a camera and then doing a crop. So I can have a wide shot of me and then a crop shot of me. Technically the same thing the OBSBot is doing. It's capturing a 4K thing and then it's giving you a crop. But I'm not going to be doing virtual inputs just because I think at that point it's the same thing as something you already have. It's just a cropped version of it. So it's not a different camera input. But yes, you are right. When using bonding, does NDI still work with the Wi-Fi portion of the bonding? I believe it does. I do not have, let me check. No, I do not have bonding active on my Ultra to be able to test that, but that is something I would love to do during this live show, is you ask a question, hey, I'm going to try and do it. Except I don't have bonding on my Ultra, so I can't. Benjamin says, gotta love a piece of kit you can set and forget. Absolutely. You and I are in the same boat. Hey, look, a comment from Facebook. So on YouTube that is already possible to connect the sound audio interface on Ultra. Yes, actually, well, I don't know about interface, but audio mixer, because by interface, there's a USB audio interface specification that will allow you to connect 8 microphones and bring in 8 discrete sources. So if you have an audio mixing tool or a music tool or even vMix, you will have 8 inputs. The YoloBox is not designed for that. So if you have an 8 input USB audio interface, you're only going to see first 2. So USB audio mixer, which mixes down 8 into 2, yes, you're supposed to be able to. You've been able to do that with the Pro before the Ultra even came out. With the OBSBot, how far can you reach or can go with the remote controller? Good question. I haven't gone too far. It's an RF remote. It's not an infrared remote, although there is this little hole on the front here. I don't know why. Again, it's like a piezo thing or something like that in there. And again, like I said, it's curved and it has this really cool multi-pin connector and power connector on the side. I mean, that's where you charge it up, but OBSBot doesn't sell whatever the other half of this is. I mean, it kind of looks like a Nintendo Switch controller, but I don't have the other half. I don't know how far it will reach. Does the NDI camera connected over Ethernet or Wi-Fi? For reliability today, the OBSBot is connected over Ethernet. Everything is wired. The Ultra is wired. The OBSBot is wired. I have the P100 is not on. I can actually walk over there and turn that on. I have a BirdDog P100. I can turn that on as well. But I'm trying to be wired as much as possible. Although I do have two starts sitting here. I can turn those on as well and see how that works. But they will be wireless. Are pen displays like a Wacom StreamTek able to be used directly with the YoloBox? If not, can you switch screens from the multiple monitor main PC with the YoloBox? You can definitely switch screens. That's the whole point of the YoloBox, is to be able to switch between multiple HDMI inputs. So if your Wacom has a 1080p standard broadcast standard video output, then you can bring it in. If it's going to be outputting like 120 hertz at 1440p, no, because that's a computer resolution, not a video resolution. This is a video mixer. Rodecaster Pro and others. Yes, Rodecaster Pro has been able to be brought in via USB-C for well over a year. Maybe the hole is a laser pointer. Well, you would think that, except there's no laser button. That thing at the top is, nope, it's not a laser pointer. I don't know what that little icon is at the top. I should read the manual. Does the YoloBox record streams as separate input streams in separate files, or does it just record the consolidated stream? That is an Ultra feature, and it's called ISO recording, for isolated. The Ultra can do ISO records. Everything below the Ultra cannot. Just the program. NDI over Ethernet and Wi-Fi, yes. Okay. Well, we had a lot of questions come in. We didn't even get to the meat of today's show. YoloBox has a feature of internal graphics generator. Can I use this function in real time using a keyboard to add text to an interview? I wouldn't. It'd be kind of hard. Because if you're doing an interview and you're touching the screen to switch inputs and things like that, then you wouldn't be able to also be once you call up the screen for creating a graphic, then you can't get to the cameras. It's one little screen. You could technically use a web graphic. Like if you're trying to do captions and stuff like that, most streaming destinations have captions built in, but you could probably do that with the web URL overlay, and then someone could be working on a laptop and be doing captions or something on a laptop and then send that over via the web URL. How do you mix the audio with all the cameras? Well, I don't want the audio from all the cameras. I just want to mix cameras. It's like, if you've ever watched a sporting game on TV, like soccer or football or something, they switch between 20 different cameras, but they're only using one feed of audio coming from an audio mixer who has the announcers and some of the sound from the field. That's 3 sources. 20 cameras, three microphones. So that's what I would do. And the YoloBox has an audio mixer built in. And so does the Magewell Director Mini, which I have. I will be doing a show on this. But today is all about the, great segue, huh? Today is all about the YoloBox Ultra. So what I have here is, you can see I have 2 camera inputs on the top. I have my main camera, which is the same camera you see right here. It's just I have it going through a distribution amplifier, so I can bring it into multiple devices at the same time. So this green screen down here is actually what's behind me here. It's just replaced. And if I move my fingers fast enough, you see the green. So I'm not hiding anything. It's just, this looks prettier. And then over here, I have my overhead camera. So this overhead camera you see in this view is coming in from here. I have a switcher off to the side that gives me that as well. That splits that out as well. What we're going to do is we're going to add a third input. And this is a little camera right over here. Right there. Wait for it. There it is. There it is. Right there. Let's cut to it. There it is. Yay. Okay, that's right there. So I've got 3 HDMI cameras and I've got a video playback happening right here. So we're going to plug that in too. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and you see it now. Once you start getting more inputs, it changes the orientation. It changes the layout here. So instead of 2 across, I've got 3 across, and it's where there it is. Okay, so this, as you can see right here, is another YoloBox Pro that I have playing out video, and I'm going to set that to full frame. One of the key things is I wanted to have video playing. I want to have movement on all these things so that if I come over here and I say 3 views and I want this, this, and this done, and I bring that up, you can see all 3 are moving. That's pretty good. We're keeping the frame rate done. I bring that up. Come on, bring it up. There you go. And I will take the ultra out. Do I have that as a feed? I should have that as a feed right here. That is the ultra out. So this you can see is the ultra screen, and I can come into my settings and take my video out, turn that to program out. So now everything you see to the right hand side of the screen is the ultra out, and that frame rate is looking pretty good. We're going to exit out of that. Now let's go back to the overhead. I've got 4 inputs. That's pretty easy, right? Let's add a USB camera because this thing has got 3 USB inputs. Now, as we've always been told, the USB input, which is this one, I have a camera that I had set up for the in-stream, so it's vertical. The USB inputs take extra CPU time because the HDMIs are coming into HDMI chips, processors, and stuff like that. They don't have to be decoded. The USB comes in as data that has to then be reconverted into a video stream. So that's what's happening there. And then I have another one coming through. I have a cam link. So I have a USB camera directly, and then I have a cam link with, wait for it, you see USB 1 here, USB 2. Actually, you know what I'll do? Let me give you the actual screen so you can see this a little bit more clearly. There we go. So USB 2 is down there, and that is right here. That is an iPhone with an HDMI output running the Blackmagic camera app. I left the app interface up there just so you can, understand what that is. It's just not another camera. It's, which lens am I using? I'm using that lens, not that lens. So that is that input over there. And so right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cameras, and we're pretty good. We're running pretty stable. Now let's go back over here to the multi-view. Yeah, that's doing pretty good. Then I will add yet another USB input. Let's go overhead. And what I have is another converter here, and it's going to come in. I created this little right angle thing because it sticks out. And I'm going to plug that into the USB-C input on the bottom. There are 2 USB-C inputs. One is for power. So I have this thing plugged into power all the time because I'm going to it's going to be drawing a lot of power. I expect the fans to be like kicking in super strong at any time. And you can see down here, I've got my USB 1, hello, my USB 2, hello, and USB-C, which is coming from another video playback device. And so we have 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 physical wired cameras into the YoloBox Ultra. Let's do another 3 views with this, this, and this. Done. Done. Don't care really. And we'll put that up, and we'll see that the video from my 3 USBs is actually doing pretty good, especially if I can get my hand lined up to both the USB cameras. I should have aimed this a little better. There we go. So yeah, that's working too. Let's take a look at comments. I'm using a Cam Link 2. Yeah, Camlink is working in the Ultra. I do not think it works in the Pro yet. Hopefully they can put that capability down, bring that down, let that filter down to the Pro and the Mini. Coming from a wireless point of view, how would you do that? Do what? I definitely don't want to take an audio mixing console into the woods with me. Anyway, to do it with a portable wireless mic. To do, I don't understand the question. There's a lot of different factors to what you're asking. There are tiny little mixers. I have a Zoom H6. It's this big. Runs on batteries for hours. And you can connect it via USB to or analog audio into your YoloBox, and it'll mix 6 inputs. So there are wireless solutions to do that. Stress test, nice. Absolutely, that is what today is. And like I said at the beginning, I don't think I'm going to be able to get all 15 cameras into this, but we're going to give it a try. We're going to see what the breaking point is. Did someone say ISO recording? Yes, I did. Shut up and take my money. Hello, brothers from India. I want buy YoloBox. Some questions below. Every YoloBox Ultra have different hardware system? No. How about a battery backup? User review. It's got a battery in it that's going to last you hours, and as long as you get an external battery that gives you at least 45 watts of PD power, then you can use external and swap between external batteries. 3, bitrate adjustment possible when ongoing live. Yeah, you don't want to do that. 4, recording support for memory card maximum size. Terabyte, I think. And any hang issues when switching 4 cameras. I'm doing it now. What is the delay difference between HDMI and webcam UVC? If you had an interview set up 3-4 cams, would the audio lip sync be out if using the 2 together? Let's test it. This is the perfect example of let's do that. So let us create a side-by-side. Take that. I often remember to take those off because on the YoloBox, the titles can automatically fade off. That's a great feature. In Restream, they don't, and I've bugged them about that, and they haven't replied. So I am going to do side-by-side, and I'm going to give you the Ultra thing. We are going to do a side-by-side with my main camera and the US, well, it kind of depends on the USB camera too. We'll try this one. Actually, I'm going to fix that first. Come out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my USB camera. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. There we go. And then I'm going to do a side-by-side with side-by-side with my main camera and my USB camera done. And oh, I didn't want to do that one. Not the side-by-side. Go away. Split view. That's it. This one and this one done. And then here you go. This is my USB camera and my main camera. That's really close. That's almost imperceptible between my main camera coming in via HDMI directly. Yes, there's a splitter, but it's still real time. And the USB camera right above it coming in via UVC. Now, what about a converter? Let us do another split view with this one and the iPhone. There, you could definitely see a difference. The iPhone is having a greater delay because the iPhone has to process it and spit it out. And then, of course, it's also going through the Camlink. So there you go. That is a big delay. And yeah, you're definitely going to have lip sync with that. But you can use the delayed cameras for other shots, the audience shots, far shots of the stage, the wide shots and things like that, and then go to the close-ups where you can actually see people's lips moving with the good cameras. So it allows you to augment your camera selection. You have 4 close cameras, which is actually a lot for, a panel event. You have 1 camera wide on the whole stage, 1 wide from behind the audience, 1 looking at the audience. So you got 3 more cameras where the sync really doesn't matter. And you can, dedicate all 4 of your fast cameras, your HDMI cameras, directly to the, yeah, that is definitely. But yeah, this is the magic of a live show where you get to ask the questions live. Which audio console are you using for today's stream to mix all these cameras? I am not using any audio console to mix the cameras. I don't care about the audio from 15 cameras. I care about my microphone audio. That's it. If I were to mix audio, I don't know why I would need to mix audio from all the cameras. Think of it like you're going to see a football game or a soccer game. You have 20 cameras around the stadium, end zone, behind the goal, over top, audience, You're going to have 1 microphone in the center of the field to catch the audience sounds, and you're going to have 2 microphones on the announcers. That's all that's going to be mixed. You don't care what each of those microphones picks up. I mean, you might, want to have, sound going into the net and things like that. And, those would be dedicated microphones going into the microphone mixer. East Coast Camping, the YoloBox have mixers in them as well, so you can use wireless mic setups. Yes, there is an audio mixer built in, but it'll only mix 3 sources. Oops, sorry, double click that one. Audio lip sync. When I am connect audio to my YoloBox via cable and camera connected via wireless transmitter, example Hollyland, how can I adjust audio lip sync? You need to push your audio going directly into the YoloBox back to match the video, which is being delayed via the wireless hop. And you can do that. There's a slider for that. So when using a Rode Pro wireless system, wouldn't it be an issue with 4 cameras? Audio and video are not the same thing. You can have 100 cameras, and I have a Rode Pro wireless microphone. They're different parts of the thing. You should be able to do that. I use DJI mics, and you'll be able to use that as well. There's a Japanese comment on the OBSBot site about the remote. It is possible it has a gyro control for the cameras. Oh yes, I think I did read that where you can move it like this. I haven't done that. Audio lip sync. When I am connected to my YOLO via cable and camera connected via wireless transmitter, we covered that. Nice, didn't buy the Rode yet, still deciding on DJI or Rode. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what microphone source you have, even if you have, last week's show was all about microphones. If you have desk microphones coming from a panel event, 10 different desk microphones, but 1 camera. You're going to use audio mixer to mix your audio. You're going to use a video mixer to mix your video, even if it's just 1 camera. Maximum cable length HDMI, which can be used in YoloBox. That's not a YoloBox question. That's a HDMI question. Generally 20 feet for regular cameras, but then there's fiber optic cables that can go to 30 meters or 100 feet, things like that. So there's lots of capabilities. But let's get back to the YoloBox. So thank you for the questions. To make sure that's clear, come over here. All right. So here you can see it's still running. I let it run, and it is still, let's go to this one. My main cameras are still looking good, with the graphics playing, and you can see down the bottom there, HDMI 2 is still running. And if I come up here to my 3 view for the USBs, these are my 3 USBs, you can see the timing difference between the Cam Link and the direct USB camera. I don't have a way to test the playback of the soccer game. All right. What else could we add? How about NDI? Boom, boom, boom. NDI. Oh, I forgot SRT. We should count that. 16. All right, so here you can see I have my tail air over there on the right, and I also have vMix playing a bunch of outputs. So I can bring those in. I actually think I turned off 2 of them because I didn't need that many. So let's see what we can get. You can only do 1 at a time. You can't bring in like all four. Can't just do that. So I'm going to try it one at a time. There she is. She's doing some preparation of some food there. Yes, that's good. That looks really delicious. Let's go get another one. And that's one. And let's go to, well, let's just try that. Here you go. NDI. It's looking, it scans the network every time because NDI is a network device interface. It is on the network, so it has to go and find it. And hey, let's go get my tail air while we're at it. All right, so now let's do a multi-view, which is multi-views take processing, and I've got at least four of them going already. Let's do a 3-view with my NDI1, NDI2, NDI3. Done. And there we go. Look at that. I have 3 NDI. Well, you know, that center one is not not in a great location, but you can see my NDIs are playing. Let's say done. Usually in the preview like that, it gets a little stuttery, and it only works better when you go program. But these are playing good. At the same time, my USBs are going. At the same time, my main cameras are going. So we're doing pretty good at this point. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 cameras connected to the Ultra, and it is still going strong. So this is the point at which I tell you, I need your help. I need callers. I need people to join my YoloBox as remote guests. And right here, I have a QR code. And if you're watching this on a phone, you're not going to be able to take a picture of this. But if you are watching this on a computer, you could use your phone and sign in to my Pro or my Ultra as a remote guest. Let's see who comes in first. Because I don't have an SRT source, and I actually didn't think of that when I made the slide for 15 inputs. I apologize. But using this, using your phone, I actually tested it in the pre-show during the countdown. I shot my phone at that, and I was able to sign into this Ultra with my phone, and I am waiting. Oh, there we go. Guest 9 and Varghese. They're all vertical. I guess that'll work fine for my multi-views. But here we go. We have guest 9. Hello. Let's wait. Let me put you up on the show here. There you are. You're going to see yourself 20 seconds behind. So there we go. You can wave. And then over here, oh, look at that. And Yuria, who was a guest on one of our conversation shows. He's here today, and that's a ceiling fan. That's a good test. You just keep it pointed at the fan. Let's see if we have anybody else. That's 3. I'm able to hold as many as 5 remote guests, and I'm not using any of the slots, so still have room for 2 more remote guests in my Ultra at the same time as everything else. Who will we have? Let's do a 3 views with, God, it's a lot of sources. 1, 2, and 3. Done. And there we go. Now we've got 3 of our remote guests all coming in here. There he is. He's waving. And we have room for 2 more. So if you see that QR code on the screen, yeah, there we go. Everybody wave. You are part of the show. Thank you for joining in. Done. Bring that up there. There we go. And again, we have room for 2 more. So you see that QR code over there. If you haven't already joined the show, you can be part of the 5. Although let me know if it's bouncing. I know after 5, it will actually say the room is full or something like that. So we are able to, gosh, right now, I have to come back up here. 4 wired cameras. And then here's, 4, we have our wired cameras still holding true at 1080p 30. We have 3 USB cameras, and I did a dissolve. I want you to take note of that. I did a dissolve between A and B. Boop. There we go. Boop. I'm doing a dissolve. So at one point on the screen, there are 6 moving inputs. And then I'm going to come down here to my 3 NDIs, which are still playing, and then I'm going to come down here to my 3 remote guests. And oh, look at that. The one, the only, the master of ceremonies, Carlos Phoenix is here. Actually, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put my audio into, here you go. Now you can hear me directly through your remote guest connection, which is live and not delayed. So there we go. We have 4 cameras. We have 3 USBs. We have 3 NDIs. And right so far we have 4 remote guests. I should have, oh, I have 5 remote guests. Let's say hello to Mike Smith. Hello, IDJ Mike has got his interface going on there. Dun, dun, dun. I love that. Love the graphics you got going on there, man. And then Carlos is here. He's got his green screen. Unfortunately, his green screen off to the side, so it's not going to be very effective. Urea is here. Guest 9 has you should type your name in so we get to like give you credit for joining the show. And so we've got the 4 remote guests, and 1 slot has opened up. I can enter the 3 views. I can write that. I can reselect screens. Oops. And there we go. Haha. I have crashed out of that show. Let's go back in and see if it can relink everything that was there. Boom, 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 boom. It is picked up the USBs and the wired cameras instantaneously. NDI, it's still the 1 camera is yes. The NDI feed for the playback from vMix is not, so let's re-add those NDI, and I lost all my remote guests. So that is what we're testing for. We're looking for where the breaking point is. Let's try this. Let's try this. Let me take out my NDI, because that could be a networking thing. Let's take out the NDI, delete that, done. And I will leave this open for remote guests. So that's doing less over the network port on the YoloBox to see if we can get 5 remote guests. When I tried to reselect or reselect my inputs for the multi-view with 3 across, it bounced right out of the show. So if you are watching the show, you're going to have to rejoin with that QR code over there. And that's really what today's show is about. Can we do 15? Can we do 16 remote? Can we do 16 connections on a YoloBox Ultra? Well, so far we were able to do 4 wired, 3 USB, 3 NDI, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10 inputs. We had that. And then we had 4 more. We had 14 with the remote guests. And at that point, when I tried to reconnect one of the remote guests or rearrange, the show quit out. Honestly, though, trying to connect 14 sources to an Android tablet is beyond what I thought we would be able to do, and reliably. At no point did I see stuttering or anything. So I'm seeing a comment from Ray B. He's saying he can't get his camera to connect. So it could be a remote guest feature. Oh, wait, you know what I need to do? That's on me. I need to return on allow participants to join. That was on me. And Carlos Phoenix is there. Mike Smith is there. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a side-by-side with Carlos and Mike because they are awesome. And done. And you know what? Let's, instead of doing a side-by-side, let's do a split view with Carlos and Mike. Done. There they are. And we'll leave them up a little bit. Done. There we go. And it should, like normally when I bring you up, oh yes, this is something that they're working on. If I bring Carlos up individually, super clean. Oh, I probably got to do the audio again. There we go. I had to redo the audio because you lose all that when the show quits. When you bring Carlos up individually, Carlos looks awesome. And you bring Mike up individually, his feed looks awesome. But when you put him on the screen at the side by same time, Carlos looks a little pixelated. And yeah, DJ Mike looks a little pixelated too. But that is something that YOLO is aware of. I've seen it mentioned in the forums, and they are going to probably, fix whatever bug that is that's not grabbing the full feed when you do a multi-view. Because obviously, if I go to the straight shot, Carlos looks, you look marvelous. And on the side by side, it's the same thing. The split view is the same. So, hey, can we get 3 more remote guests? Can we get 3 more remote guests and fill up our remote? Boom. Man, look at you with the graphics. Look at you with the graphics. Boom. Oh, there we go. Yuria is back and looking awesome. And I'm not going to sign in myself. Going to leave it for you, the guests who are watching. I'm going to throw up this comment while we're waiting for that to come in. And it says, stress test and a half. Can you have a producer helping you with the guests on a separate device? Green room style prep and communicate off screen. They can help guests speak to one another. That is not a function that is built into the YoloBox. I did a YOLO live show at the end of last year, and I had everybody go into I think it was a StreamYard room, and I had somebody managing that for me. And then I would bring StreamYard into the YoloBox. Good to see you, guest 36. I think I've got room for one more in the guests, which is right over there. You see that QR code? Let me do this. Do you see this QR code right here? This one, right here. Go click on that. Point your phone at that. Any option in YoloBox Ultra for audio lip sync adjustments? Yes, there's an option in I think the Mini, the Pro, the InStream, and the Ultra for adjusting audio delay. Any thoughts on no other guests yet? Any thoughts on either YoloBox service bonding over live view LRT service pricing? No thoughts on pricing. Pricing's on you. If you want to pay it, you pay it. Thoughts on the service? It's very convenient to have it built into the YoloBox as opposed to a separate device. Although some people like to divide tasks. Some people like to say, let me do the streaming over here with the bonding. Let me do the switching over here. And it separates those tasks, makes them a little easier. So we still have, oh, nope, it bounced out again. And I didn't touch anything. So it seems like even without NDI, the Ultra is still working hard on the remote guests because I wasn't even touching it, and it bounced that thing right out. And let me come down here, do the audio thing again, and do the remote guests. Come back over here, let them in. Oh, look at that. Okay, that is actually a very cool feature, which you could see down here. As soon as I turned on the allow participants to join, all the people that were in the room are still in the room. So it's not necessarily connected directly to my YoloBox Ultra. If I leave the room, it doesn't terminate the room. The room is still there. And hey, say hello to Ben. There's Ben up on the screen. He should be able to hear me through his connection. Nice background you got there. I like that. I got to decorate my office like that too. So we did see that the Ultra gets to the point where the remote guest capability seems to be the most challenging thing. Let's do a 3 across with you guys. And we'll do 1, 2, 3. Done. There you go. Interestingly, Yuria and Ben look great here. Done. Bring that up. Nope, but you're pixelated there. That is weird. It looked perfectly fine when I was in preview mode, but then when I went to the actual show, nope, not so much. But of course, if I go directly to any of these feeds, they are going to clear up and look great. And again, I'm being super nasty to my YoloBox by saying, you know what? I want to do dissolves all the time. So here's my 3 views from the remote guests, and I'm going to do 3 views from my main cameras. Let's do that one, and a USB camera. Done. And say done. And then I do a dissolve. So at one point, there are 6 cameras on the screen as it dissolves between these two. And it's able to, I am impressed. It's doing it very reliably. Do I have any overlays to put on? I don't really. Let's do one overlay. Boo, 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 boo. You guys, I thank you very much for giving of your time and your sources for this. You can see it is a little pixelated there. And here is my main cameras. And you know what? I'm going to put this out in the stream just so we have it. Program out. Main cameras look great. And you can see the USB camera is pretty much in time with the other actual live cameras. And then when I go to the USB, it looks pretty darn pixelated, except if I go to any camera individually, that looks fantastic. And Uria looks fantastic. And Ben looks fantastic. And Mike, wait, there it is. Mike, he's the top donor for today. Your frame rate is definitely depreciated there versus the other ones. And I don't know why. But I think we have conclusively gotten to the point where we basically we can get to the threshold of 15 cameras, but then I haven't put a bunch of overlays on this. I have not put, I'm also not recording. Hey, let's do a record. Start. Hey, you know what? Let's do a stream. Let's go to this one. Where do I want to send it? Account validation failed. Of course. Done. Facebook account validation failed. Let's go to Twitch because nobody watches me on Twitch. Oh, that failed too. YouTube. Let's do it unlisted. Done. Is it thinking? It's thinking. I bet you. Oh, cool. And let's start streaming. Is it streaming? Go live. Can't start early. I don't know. So we're streaming, we're recording, and I've got all these inputs going, and you 3 guys look marvelous, and and we are definitely pushing the boundaries. Oh yeah, there you go. He's watching it on the big screen there. But there we go. If I go directly to a source, the source looks great. I'll take this out now. There, go away. And you look great. I don't know what camera you're using, but that looks super clear. And I still have my USB-C, my USB-C, and my USB, and my HDMI, and my HDMI, and my HDMI, and my HDMI, and my NDI2 was automatically picked back up again. My NDI1 I'm going to throw away, done, and I'm going to add those cooking. Why is that not sharp? Why is that not sharp? Did I accidentally push the focus button? Oh, is that what that's supposed to be? Focus? I'll use the app. The app is easier to figure out. Whoa. I'm trying to find autofocus continuous. It says it's there we go. Now it's focused. Are YoloLive bringing SRT to the Pro? Probably not. Probably going to keep that with the Ultra because as you can see, the Ultra is going to be bringing in a lot more capability to the game here. There's NDI1 right there. And then we're going to bring in NDI2. She's washing her hands. That is coming over. That's playback from vMix on another machine. And there we go. Here's another version behind the scenes of that show that I worked on. And we are, yeah. So let me take this. Come here. Turn that off. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. and the rest would be remote guests. So I've got 13 inputs going, and I'm going to go between 3 views 1 and dissolve to 3 views 2, dissolve back to 3 views. Oh, there was a little flash there. But hey, you know, this is quite the stress test of the YoloBox Ultra. And thank you all, thank you guys for being part of that test. I was very dependent on people calling in to execute the remote guest portion of the test because I don't have 5 cameras that I can call into in the middle of the show. So I don't have that capability. So thank you very much for jumping in there and helping me out with that. Janet says, that is very cool. Thank you very much for tuning in, Janet. I think this has really gone to show that the YoloBox Ultra really is kind of ultra there. Again, I'm doing 1080p 30. Your results will differ if you're trying to do a 4K capture, because that is going to be a lot more resources. Your results may be different if you're trying to do 4K or 1080p 60, because I'm only doing, as you can see right over there, 30 frames a second. I'm recording, I'm streaming, and there's my camera inputs, and they are going. My program out is 60 frames per second because I'm in NTSC land, but I am very impressed with what I have been able to do. I'm also not using the USB-C out to go into a laptop or anything like that, which is additional CPU processing. And like I says, I don't have a whole lot of titles to put up over top of this thing. I could, you know, create a bunch real fast. Oh, you know which one is always fun? Which one is it? Is it this one? Rolling caption. Oh, I got to enter text. I don't have time to enter text. Bring it up anyway. So this has been a really good stress test of the YoloBox to figure out where those limits are. And that is one of the key things when doing your testing. Try and figure out what is going to make it crash. Where is the breaking point? Because right now it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 titles. One of them is a web URL overlay, and I'm still able to do my 3 cameras, and I've got my NDI going. I got my other NDI going. The other NDI is still going. So I've got a lot of network stuff going on. I've got my USB cameras, and this, I would say, is really good proof of the pudding that just shy of remote guests, where we had the YoloBox quit out on us twice, just shy of that, we are doing a bang up job here. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 titles. And let's go to my 3 across. Here we go, 3 across with 8 titles. So yeah, I'm going to say, stress test wise, you are looking at something that is going to take a bit of abuse here and be able to deliver, unless you hit those little nuanced things, that just those little bugs that have not been ironed out yet, like the quality of the remote guest video feed when in a multi-view. For whatever reason, that is still coming in a little, not a little bit, a lot pixelated. It's like it's taking whatever this is, the preview, and then just putting that into the multi-view, as opposed to going and bringing in the full resolution. So when you go to the shot directly, it gets the full resolution, but when you do it in multi-view, it's like it's using the preview and putting it into the frame, and that just looks really blah. Ooh, I got to give a shout out to Donatella who is a great video makeup maven here in the DFW area, Dallas area. She is fantastic. And the McGee Academy of Arts and Sciences, keep forgetting your live shows on Tuesdays. Yes, I actually wanted to keep Wednesdays open for, there's a local meeting thing that happens on Wednesdays that I wasn't able to do when I was doing the YOLO show. So I'm here. Next test is audio. If you're doing 11 channels of audio, I would not do it in the YoloBox because remember, it's still only mixing, I think, still 3 channels. But as Benjamin says, as always, test, test, test. Thank you for letting me take a part. Thank you for being part of today's show. And I think this has been a fantastic journey to as many inputs as we can get into the program today. Boo, 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 boo. Yes, I have a lot of graphics going on over here, but we are seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 graphics with a crawl, not much of a crawl, and a web overlay in there, and 3 camera inputs, as well as you can see over here, I've got USB-C inputs being decoded in preview. I've got NDI inputs being decoded over there. So, and it's doing all of this, and as I let it go, it's just going. Now, I haven't been doing this show for 4 hours. If you have a 4-hour show, you're going to need to test for 4 hours or 8 hours to make sure that it's going to deliver what you need it to deliver. Always test. And I'm going to echo, as others have said, test, test, test. That is a key factor to making sure that your shows are going to be as reliable as they need to be. But I do thank you all for being here. Once again, my name is Anthony Barocas. I am the StreamTek Gearhead. If you're watching this on any platform, StreamTek on YouTube is where you will find the great content. It's right here at Stream Technology on YouTube. We also have a Facebook group called Stream Technology, and I encourage you all to who are watching to join the Facebook group because Facebook says it's too new, even though it's over a month old. It says it's too new and I can't stream to it. So maybe if I have more people like and join the group or like the page, then I'll be able to stream to it. If you need someone to do streaming for you or to test things, I am at stream4.us. And I also write for streamingmedia.com, streaming media producer, where you too can sign up for weekly newsletters to get the latest information. Does NDI require the internet? No. NDI is more so, it is a local area network protocol. It is for devices in the room. Although it can go more than just the room. It can go between rooms. It can go between classrooms. It can go across the building through the network. It can go across the college campus. It can, you can do bridges between different local area networks. Yes, NDI can do that, but NDI is primarily made to connect multiple devices in the room. A key advantage of NDI, and I have several NDI videos on the StreamTek YouTube channel. Go check them out. Especially an intro to NDI would be a great thing to look at. That. Wait, let me bring that up over here. The StreamTek channel, I have NDI talking about bit rates, licensing, what the cameras are, and also videos. Go to videos. The basic intro one, this one right here. The basic intro video is really where I talk, if you haven't done NDI and you want to understand what it's doing, how it's doing it, how it compares and everything, that is a great video to start with. It'll talk about, why NDI, and then you can come up here to this other one, more NDI. It's like a class. Masterclass, and it'll talk about bits rates and licensing and full, the different levels of NDI that are there that I don't really get into when I talk about the basic intro. And then if you really want to go crazy, if you come down here, I have All In on NDI, which is a really good video. long. It's 16 minutes. Okay, so it's not terribly long, but it's 16 minutes. But I actually show you several different instances of where I used it on the job, demonstrating what I'm doing, how I'm doing, and where I'm doing it. And and why? Because like one of the key things is I only have to run one Ethernet cable to the stage, and I can get the stage camera, and I can provide a video feed to the stage monitor and another camera looking at the audience, two PTZs, all coming on one Ethernet cable. So that simplifies in deployment if you only have to run one Ethernet cable. And then you plug that Ethernet into your streaming device, which you were going to have to be on Ethernet anyway. And there you go. You got your inputs, and you're able to see your inputs. And depending upon the tool you're using, the Ultra can pan, tilt, zoom cameras and access presets. You can do it with a tablet if you can get your tablet on the same network as your NDI device, if you've got the OBSBot, you got the OBSBot remote. There's lots of different ways. If you've got a Bird Dog, this Bird Dog app for your cell phone, you can control your Bird Dogs with that. But again, that has to be talking through the same network. So you need a Wi-Fi connection to that local area network. Lots of capabilities there. But definitely, if you are on any of the other media, go to the YouTube channel, the StreamTek YouTube channel, and subscribe. I only have 675 subscribers. I'll stand here and watch to see if you can make a change. Not changing yet. Nope, I'm waiting. And another really great thing that would help me out if you're still watching the show, find something you like, and then go over there and feel free to share it. Because if you share the video to your social media, it can reach people that I can't reach. And as I'm trying to grow the channel from 0 subscribers, additional reach, additional exposure is something that helps me out tremendously. So I appreciate you all being here, and I hope, look at that, IDM's already subscribed. Thank you very much. NDI is great for wireless. Watch my bitrate video. Not always great for wireless. One cable to rule them all, Cat 6. It's one cable to rule them all until somebody rolls a cart over it and breaks the cable. So be careful, be aware of that. And just again, NDI does not require the internet. It is local area. You could just doing recording on here, not even doing streaming at all. But NDI can be passed over the internet. So I can use NDI and create a bridge, NDI bridge, and go to another location. I cover that in the NDI videos, so go watch those. Crazy. I think you are truly pushing the limits of the Ultra. That was the goal of today's show, to break it. And I think I kind of got there, but very impressive what the Ultra pulled off today. And it's only going to get better as the YOLO team continues to refine and update and quash those bugs. So with that, I am going to say thank you all for being here. Subscribe, like, share. Do me a solid. Thank you. And I will look forward to seeing you all next week. Thank you.